Hi, welcome, kia ora, welcome, willkommen, bienvenue, welcome to the map. So, shall we have a quick look around? Some things have changed. You know, part of the problem with this game, well, it's not a problem. Some people might have a problem. I have a problem. There's a problem. We have a small problem. Is that I don't know when to bring it back in again. Because you like fix something or you look at something and then you tweak it and then you need to watch it for a couple of years and you tweak it again and then you need to watch it again and then something else happens then you need to go and fix that, and before you know it 5-10 years have passed. So anyway, there you go. Don't worry about the money situation. I've just spent an awful lot of money and I will tell you what on sometime soon-ish. But shall we have a quick look around? Shall we have a quick look around? Something's happened. Something has very definitely happened, and something has very definitely changed over here and over here. So, what happened? Well, what happened was you run out of small passenger planes. Um, so I ran out of small passenger planes. Now, I'm persevering with this, but just so we're clear, it's this one. If you go down here and have a look, I've never managed to get airlines to make me money. Is the short answer. Um, it costs too much to maintain, and I'm just not getting enough passengers through the airports. So I've persevered with a bit, and this is my last ditch attempt. If we get to the year 2000 and this thing still isn't making me money, I'm completely getting rid of the airports, right? So, so that's that. So, the Japanese Kobayashi Corporation came in and for a deal on supplying and maintaining planes, they built this walloping great big airport here and this walloping great big airport over here, and they now own 35% stake in both of them. So that's what's happening over here. So we're working on bigger airport. Um, we do have bigger planes. So we have these things, which are very nice. These are your more modern looking British aerospace plane, which is fine. I think they hold about 20 each, which is jolly good. So we've got this one over here. Dare I ask, full? That's not too bad. This guy's coming into land. Dare I ask, also full. So there you go. So they're full. It's a bit of a one-way ticket on this one, really, because these won't be full on the way back. So it seems like it's a very much a one-way traffic in that lots of people want to leave Uzano to go to Santa C, but it doesn't work in reverse. So I don't know if it's better to make money having a plane fly back empty. I mean, I guess it probably arguably is. The thing is, there's only 27 waiting. Thank you. I wish it would not do that every time I have to click on the airport. And over here we have some more, but these two have come in together, so they probably need to be staggered a little bit to help iron that out. But we'll give it a bit of a try. So obviously, in the wake of that happening, this farm expanded. So the farm expanded out, took over some of the area that was left available to it. However, the town has also earmarked some development areas over here that they're going to be working into. As we noted with the houses that were here, they went away. I don't know why they went away, but we earmarked some development areas over here around the refinery. Um, we detailed the refinery up a little bit, so it looks like a little bit more. It's got a couple of old cabins kicking around, and we threw in some bushes and dirtied the ground a bit because it's a polluter and stuff. So, I don't know how I'd like hope commercial comes over here, but they may not. Anyway, so So there was houses here, they've gone. I don't know why they've gone. I don't remember destroying them, but who can possibly say? So yeah, we put in some little things like there's a little cabin and a little barrier here, which just make a nice little touch. There's a development going on out the back of the airport, which is also good. The farmer also has a little maize crop over here that he gets to farm on the side of the airport, which is jolly, jolly good and fine and dandy. Oh, so that's all going. Everything's all going fine over at Uzano. We did have to change our commuter trains, so we've now got the British Rail train um, pulling an American-style carriage, which is fine. Looks like there's a lot of people in that train. It's full. It's full and dandy-o, full and dandy-o, and I think there's still some people waiting. So the commuter service is still it's still doing okay. So that's not too bad. And we've still got food that's being picked up. Obviously, they've just dropped off, and my trucks are floating around somewhere. This is one. We got Arctics now. We got articulated lorries. So he's looking a bit old. But he'll be swinging by there and picking up some food. And there's a couple of other wagons kicking around. I can't stop them doing this. I can't stop them connecting to the main road. So I just stopped trying. Which reminds me, my park. They've started building in my park. So I don't know if you can stop them from building. Come hell or high water, they will build. So there you go. So they've started building. So Uzano's on the uppity up. We haven't changed anything in Uzano yet. Castle Vecchio is on the uppity up. We're getting tools in now, which is pretty good. We're supposed to be getting food in, but the food doesn't seem to be being picked up. No, he's picking up the food. Pardon me, it's just a delay. It's a delay in something. What is he picking up? Does he pick up just food? He picks up just tools. Did I balance this? What line is this? This is the Castelvecchio tools truck, I think. So, Castelvecchio tools truck. Have we said that they're separately loading things? Yeah, so we've said 50-50, but I don't think a single truck can load 50-50, judging from what we're seeing. So that's a bit of a nuisance, because it seems like what they're sort of doing is, what's this guy got? Nothing. So yeah, I don't know what. So I might have to set this up separately as one for food and one for tools, and I'll show you how to do that after I've had a look at the rest of the place. So we are bringing food in. How am I bringing food in? Well, I'm bringing it in on this guy. So this is the little oil guy. So I figured that the little oil guy was trucking from here all the way over here, and we're producing food here, so he could truck food back. So I've doubled him up. So he's bringing a little bit of food because he's a small train and he doesn't make a lot of money at all, and he's not really carrying a lot of stuff. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to do that. On that, I separated these lines out a little bit, and I put in a separate cargo place for oil. Now I'm kind of worried that there's no oil there, because that means that the oil has become broken for some reason. Every time I go in and tweak things, there's a breakage somewhere along the line. So why are these not picking up oil? Oh, I know why they're not picking up oil. There's not a building here. I redid this, but you have to put a building back or it doesn't connect. So I need to put that building there and that building there, and I'll put some of these here. And can I fit that there? And that there? Can I rotate it? You can't. So you end up with a bit of stuff. But anyway, I haven't detailed this. So there you go. So that was my bad. So yeah, so a lot of these places, and we'll have a look at the logs and stuff. A lot of these places where you have, remember I said we couldn't sort out, bypassing through a station. So if you can't sort out bypassing through a station, I would say separate it out. So this is where the wagons come to pick up and drop off, and everyone else just barrels straight on through, which is just keeps it nice and simple. So they then pass straight on through. This station is not busy enough yet to require that kind of an issue, so or a fix to that kind of an issue. So that's fine. So that's all doing what it's all doing. Santa Caesarea is doing okay. This is the Santa C South bus. I've already just added one extra bus to that, so it'll take a little time to balance out. Like I say, they've been growing out here, which is a bit of a nuisance. We've put in the new big airport, and we put in this cargo hub, and I like it like this because it makes it, or not cargo hub, passenger hub, because it makes it look like, like a proper passenger bus place. But there's only one bus coming in here. It doesn't need to be this big, but I do like it being that big. So there you go. And a wandering, meandering road that never got connected up. That's fine. Down here, everything's the same. This guy is expanding, so you can just paint the ground, so you don't have to put, the whole square fields in, which is what I did with this one. So you end up with this texture here, which is kind of like the plowed texture, and you end up with this like bare dirt texture. So that's fine. This kind of follows the topography, which I think is pretty realistic, because there's the edge of a hill here. So I simply follow the edge of the hill, and then this is just being prepared for planting. I can go in, and you can paint in, like I painted in these odd bits here with a texture for corn. And there's a texture for corn, and there's a texture for wheat in the landscape. If I show you under the paint tools, so you go back down here. There's not one for wheat. I think there's one for corn. Yeah, no, that's it. I've got one for corn, but I don't have one for wheat. Don't know why. It says that is wheat. So it is. Look at that. That's grey. So you do have, so you can paint in wheat if you want to paint in wheat, which is fine. So this guy's expanding a little bit. He's also got a side operation in quarrying going on. So obviously I saw this big lump at the side of the hill, and farmers aren't one to miss a trick, and nor is anyone else. So I'm pretty sure they were like, right, okay, you know what, we could set up a quarry here. So they got a quarry going on, and they're digging out some rocks, and they're processing it. They've got some processing equipment and some quarry works and things going on. All pretty informal, I'm sure. So they're doing a little bit of quarrying works over there, which is fine. They're still supplying this guy down here. He's not gotten any bigger. We've been balancing out his supply, so that we're not running too full or too empty. 72, that's great. There's now two small trucks, two small trains, running over here, which is fine. I've been working on trying to balance this one out. We're slowly getting there. I mean, this is the food guy going over here. They're reasonably sized trains, and there's another one on the way back. And that brings us back over here and back to the logs. And there's not a lot happening in Riso, and there's not a lot happening in Civitella, really. But what else did I do around the map? So I did a little bit of detailing, a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of fudging. Obviously, I made this a bit bigger. I moved those around. I put in these things, and I tweaked that little stuff over there. The forestry block has grown. This is now the end of the land. You can see this is now somebody else's land. They got some little boat docks and fishing shacks and whatnot down there. So the road marks the boundary of the forestry block. So the forestry block goes all the way over here. Like I said, the abattoir has some fields outside for the moo cows that come in. So they've now got some paddocks set aside for the moo cows, which is great. This is what I've been spending all my money on. I'm trying to make this like a big inland waterway, which makes sense for these fish. But I mean, I kid you not. I've already spent nearly 200 million on this. This is an expensive. This amount of earthworks is expensive. So this is a work in progress. This is very definitely a work in progress. It's definitely not finished, but it is getting there. So yes, a work in progress to some degree. Um, Over here, the coffee plantation. So, coffee trees, coffee bushes, really. We don't have, but we do have apple, which kind of looks similar. So yeah, and it would probably be organized. So this is organized. So this is an organized plantation. It's nowhere near big enough, but it took me long enough to do this because I have to plant every one of these trees individually. But they're expanding, so they're expanding, which is fine. Um, I don't know if I'm going to do much more detailing on putting in much more coffee plantation just because of the amount of pain and effort it takes to do it. I decided, you remember with the timber, I decided obviously we got quarry works over here. This is the old quarry. The old quarry has flooded. Jeepers, it's quite deep in there, but quarries are. So the old quarry has flooded and is slowly growing back. There's a bit of rehabilitation going on. And there's some wilding trees and some and bits and pieces. So this one's a little bit rough, a little bit chaotic, a little bit what have you, which is kind of good. And I've got this kind of stuff going on, um, which is great. This looks really authentic. I have in the packs that I got, you can get these ground platforms, and over here at the back end, you've got things. You've got an invisible terraforming platform. That one's a nightmare because when you put it down, you can't ever find it to delete it again. But we do have these bare ground platform, and you got a bare ground with lights platform. Um, so I've just been using the bare ground, and when you put the bare ground down, it recognizes that there's a cargo place there. But you can just paint over the top of it with whatever you like. Um, so so yeah, so if you have a look, there I can't put it next to the tracks because it recognizes that there's a thing there. If you go in here, unfortunately you can't delete them. So it's a bit of a trick. I can't place one here because this track is too close. But so be aware of that there are limitations to using some of these mods. But that said, it works out quite nice because you can create these sidings. Short of the fact that there's this, you can still see the join here. I can probably just get my terrain tool, make it a lot smaller and a little bit softer, and put that through there like that. There you go. So that'll take the edge off. So it just looks like real sidings. It doesn't look like there's cargo there at all, but there is. There's cargo here. Look, there's cargo being chucked out here. So this makes, if you want something to look a little bit higgledy-piggledy and overgrown, this is a good way to do it. And I threw some special assets in that are lurking around in the bush, because what happens is these places become overgrown and things get forgotten about. And you've got these. This is the only like industrial kind of asset I have kicking around. But it could be like a commercial wood chipper or for gravel or something. There's a few of them kicking about. Yeah, so it helps. It all helps. And I've got other assets here. I could probably even put in. I've got these little like cabin things. You can even just like plonk those in, and it gives it this kind of feel. So anyway, that turned out okay. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. And that was the quarry that gave me the idea to do that. That was cheap. That was not. Anyway, there you go. And they're supplying the tools factory over here and all the rest. I did the same with this one. I did a siding on this with a pass through because it's just so busy. And then he carries on over there. Logs. The logs. Oh man. Oh man. Oh manny man. 437. I cannot put enough log trucks on here. I really can't. There's a log truck leaving. He's got 154. There's a log truck arriving to take logs away. He's going to take 154. There's another log truck already heading out. He's carrying 154. And there's a log truck just on the way back that's was carrying 154. And there's a log truck dropping off, 154. I have so many log trucks, and I can't stay on top of this log supply. I, I reckon logs might be the best thing to start with in terms of making money. Sounds like Farm Simulator. Um, because this truck is making me 4 million, and you never seem to run out of logs. There's just so many logs. So something to bear in mind might be that logs are like an absolute gold mine when it comes to making money. But anyway, there you go. So yeah, so we're supplying this place just as much as we can. We're already at level 2.5. We're just trying to ship as much as we can over here to the tools, which is fine. If we have a look, he's at level 2.5 as well. We're pumping out 300 here. So that means that, we're getting a lot of tools, and currently we're only supplying Castelvecchio with tools, but we should probably supply Santa Caesarea with tools. We're already on the same line, and we already have a double line here. So we can send a truck back. So we can definitely send a truck back. But I don't want to send anything more back here through this system. You can see the forest has encroached through this this cargo station, because this whole thing is driving me nuts. So if that's going to happen, what I want to do is I want to see if I can resolve this problem with the coffee and the food and the meat, so that it's just taking it directly from the industry, and I can get rid of these trucks, because it's too messy, and I just need to fix it. I just need to fix it is what I need to do. So that's something that I need to do offline and probably bring back to you, which is perfectly fine. In terms of the boats, we're in trouble because our boat is no longer available. We've got a whole load of passenger boats, which is great, but we don't have any great new... We've got these which have just come in. I haven't seen these before. They've just come in. This carries 300 in 2 compartments. So that'll carry all our booze. And it goes at 28. So we'd be like loading this up. We'd have to make this a very big place. If it's going to take 300, because currently the capacity is only 140. So you would have to make, you see it says 11 of 140, that's its capacity. So if we wanted to make it bigger, we'd have to make it into a proper, we'd have to add in some fairly sizable buildings. I think the cargo building, the largest building here is 75. So that's 3 of these, on top of what we've already got. To take a full 300. We could do it. It's not the end of the world. We could put a whole load of stuff on the back. Well, I mean, the short answer is we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. So we do need to do it. So we need to put one there, and I think one there, and one in the middle, and we can do that. And that now means that we've got capacity for 225 storage. So what it will do is when this fills up, it'll move it into storage, which is great. Because these boats are getting old. So if we have a look at the condition of our boats, which one is it? It's Riso booze, mediocre. So this was that was the last one that we bought. This one's been around for a while. They last about 50 years or something. So it's mediocre. So we're eventually going to have to replace that boat, which is a bit of an annoyance. In terms of what road vehicles we've got on the go, we've got a new bus. So you can see that emissions drop with the newer vehicles as the newer vehicles become more efficient. And then eventually we'll get an electric bus, which is something to look forward to. So we've got a bus that goes a little bit quicker and also carries a few more people. We still don't need to worry about roads yet because our roads are all of our major roads are 100 kilometers an hour, so we don't need to do anything about that. That's the old Studebakers. We got a couple of man trucks. We got this Peterbilt articulated one came in, which is a mod. We've got the gas trucks, which have come in. They're now 90 kilometers an hour. So these were all 80s. So we were dealing with 80 kilometer an hour. But I mean, most of the issue is with the trucks, especially, is they're like trucking in and around the town. And in and around the town, the roads are. What is the speed limit in and around town? Certainly not anything you'd want to probably know about. 50 kilometers an hour. So it's 50 kilometers an hour for these inside the town, which makes sense, you know. So the town roads are 50. Once they get outside, they can do 60 and or 80. But for the most part, the town roads are 50. So that's fine from the truck perspective. Have we got a train shed anywhere? I always delete the train sheds. Because I never use them. Once you've made them, what are you keeping them for? I tend to get rid of them again. I don't think we do. I don't think we do. Okay, well, we'll need to just find a train then. Hello. What's your name? Right. So what do we got? Well, there's more electrics coming in. This has pretty much been our engine of choice for the last nearly 50 years. There's only 4 more years left. So when this guy goes out, we're going to need to replace him. And we're going to need to start replacing them with electric. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to start going around and putting in catenary. Now, I still don't think we're going to get any wagons that go faster than 120. So while I did put in all those high-speed lines, I don't think I'm ever going to need them. I can't remember if we get faster carriages, but I don't think so. It's mainly the passenger trains that are high speed, not cargo, and we don't have any need for high speed links yet. Maybe in the future, but yeah, we're gonna need to replace this sucker with something electric. That's too big, too fast, too expensive. This thing, not too bad. I mean, this is 1683,000. This has got a lot of pulling power, though, 227. This tends not to. That's a diesel. Not great pulling power. There's another diesel. So we haven't really got... There's a couple of good electrics we've seen before, but, I mean, essentially, I think we're probably going to end up switching out... I mean, it does 105. We want someone who does at least 120. This diesel here does 120. Now, he's from 1989. That means he'll stay forever. So he'll never drop off our list. And that's the last of the diesels. So the last of the diesel here is 11.3. If we wanted, say, this fella, which seems to have quite a lot of power, and does more than 120, although he does 200. That's 11.5. What's that one? Yeah. So unless this guy's our next best, if we want to go to electric, and then we've got this big diesel chugger. So his emission is 67. This guy is 69. So even if we replace with this one, it'll be more expensive, but it'll not this one, this one. It'll be more expensive. It'll drop our emissions a bit, and should be fine. Probably okay for the routes that don't go through towns. For the ones that go through towns, we're going to have to start thinking about dropping the emissions, and that means electric. So there you go. So that's that. Gosh, it does take such a long time for me to waffle on about everything, doesn't it? It does indeed. It does indeed. But that is the situation, and that is the situation. So, what are we gonna do? What we're gonna do? We wanted to give Riso a little bit of the love, which is fine. But I'm not really sure just exactly how much love we can give the place, because because they need tools, and they need goods, and they need machines. Now we have tools up there, which is all well and good. Um, but I wanted to get those to Santa Caesarea. So, in a kind of a way, in a kind of a way, where are we with bricks? We're nearly full on bricks, actually. We're full on everything else, and full on. So we do need to figure out what to do, and how do we do it. Um, the problem is he's already getting bricks, and the other supply chains are quite complex supply chains. I suppose in a kind of a way they all are. So we do have these tools that are being manufactured up here from timber. Um, and we do, as we say, have a fair abundance of timber. Well, no, logs for sure. Not necessarily timber, but logs for sure. So that kind of I don't really kind of want to. If I pull timber off there, um, there's currently it's not like there's a massive amount. Um, Although this guy has 225 in storage, so we could possibly calm him down. So there could be room to get some timber from here um, down this way to some kind of a tool plant. So if we were to do that, how would we do that? We have a rail line here which comes down this way. Um, they've just bought this land, um, so we don't really want to disturb their land, um, but we might have to because what we could do, right, is bear with me, just a minute, bear with me, just a minute. Um, yeah, because I don't want to go. It would be complicated. Because well, the other thing is, I don't want to. This line is already busy, very busy. Um, so how would we get timber out of here? Um, um, we could. We could. A bridge there is going to be expensive, but we could still do it. It's a bit of a duplication, though, isn't it? This over here, you can bring a train all the way across and create a separate line running down the side of here. Um, that is also fast becoming a sort of a busy line. This is what I said about cargo hub, right? How do we get the stuff that we want to get to where we want to get to? So this line here, this is all very busy. You see all these trucks going down here, up and down here. Trucks, I keep calling them trucks. They're trains. And through here, we'd have to create another siding. Um, which we can kind of do. It's not, this line is not super busy, so it's getting them to here. So I think what we need to do is we need to build a parallel line up here, which is just seems to me like such a big cost in money. Maybe we can have it come out a bit more closer to this side. So we'd have to have it loop around and come over this way. Um, And then what we'd have to do is we'd have to have it bridge over this track and come out here and join back up here and then pick up the timber and come all the way back over here, all the way back down here, pass through this train station down here to, there used to be an industry down here, this little flat spot, and that industry used to be something else. There's a coal mine closing down, an iron ore mine closing down. That's another opportunity as well. So down here, where there used to be an industry, what I thought we might be able to do is we could put in another tools factory to supply Riso down here. So tools factory up here supplying Castelvecchio and Santa Caesarea, and Riso gets a tool factory down here, and then they can take 2/3 of the production from here, and we can take 1/3, and we put it down here, and we flip it around, and we can pull it in on this little line, and then we can run a connecting line down the side of the existing motorway, and that will go direct to Riso. So we're bringing the timber in, and then we're sending the product straight down to Riso, and then Riso gets a bit of love. Does that make some sense? That looks a bit janky. So I think what we'll do is, before we place that, we will get our terrain leveler, and we'll make it nice and big, and we'll make it reasonably strong, and we'll say we know that we want this industry to go in here, and then we'll just, you know, smooth off the edges, because there'll be other earthworks to do once we put the put the train in. So there you go. So one industry right here, plonk it in. This is where the last one was. Boom, 15 million. Yeesh, caboodles. Right. So I'm gonna go away, and I'm gonna make this. In fact, what I'll do is I'll do it in time lapse, so you can have a little something to watch, a little something to listen to. And then honestly, when I come back, that'll probably be it. Because there's so much to talk about and so much to do. So I'll have a look at that. I'll have a get on with that. I'll have a record of that. And when we come back, we'll see how much time we got left, eh? I'll see you soon. Right. Well, there you are. There you are. Things are moving. I've set the lines up, and we have the timber here, which is being offloaded, as you can see, platform 1 and platform 2. Which train is this? This is the train to Santa Sea. So he's heading off in this direction. There's already a train which is carrying timber over here from Santa Caesarea, and my other train, which is heading down here, it has already. Oh no, it hasn't. I thought it would already dropped off. Now here it is, first train. You get to see the inaugural train. Hello, he's not full, doesn't matter. Yay, he drops off, and the timber production. Tool production from timber, don't know how that's working, wooden tools, is underway, and there's a train somewhere, there it is, dropping off here. This worked out quite well because these are commercial. At first I thought these were residential buildings and I was like, oh no, that's going to be a drama. But this is commercial and they do want tools, but other places also want tools. So these guys and girls over here want tools, which we can sort out when we have a look at the balancing. Now, what I don't know, and I had to do a little bit of jiggery pokery on this one because I realized that I didn't want to clog up this station because it is a kind of a busy station, so I did a bypass, so I'm not clogging it up. And my gosh, bridges. And this is not quite. This is probably not exactly how they would build it in the real world, IRL. They could put a retaining wall here. It wouldn't be shingle or ballast. It would be concrete. But I can't do that. I can't turn this. This doesn't register as a bridge, so I can't. Once these trains go past, I can't. Yeah, I can't turn this into concrete, so it won't let me, and I can't paint the side of this because it's technically still the track. So it kind of looks like, have you ever seen those kind of like ribbed retaining walls, where they have like, steel and stuff? So it's kind of like that. So yeah. Look, it's a game. Leave me alone. All right. So anyway, so there you go. So I decided that was the way I was going to do it. There's a lot of train tracks getting splashed all over this map, isn't there? Anyway, here's something I don't know. One of the many things I don't know. So you'll see here that we're supplying timber to 2 platforms. I'm not sure, I don't think you can tell it to prioritize one platform. I mean, essentially it seems to be producing at the same rate. So Santa Sea timber. Here we go. This might be a good one. He's coming in to empty out, and he's coming in to take some. So there was a difference of 3. So they're kind of producing. The Santa Sea timber seems to be producing quicker, doesn't it? I mean, you can see that because it's now stopped. I think we're waiting on logs to come in. So I wonder how it's choosing production. Thanks. So here we go. Santa Caesarea tools, shipping 300. Civitella tools, shipping 100. So I think this is the higher demand place. So they want 300, yeah, because they've gone up to that level, whereas he only wants 100 because he's only just started. So the way it's divvying up the production is it's already decided who gets more. So Santa Sea Timber wants more. So what are they coming in? He's coming in. and I rebalanced some of these out, he's going to pick up 54, which takes it. That's probably about right. That's not bad because that's what I kind of worked it out. That's kind of the ratios that I worked it out at. Although I didn't do it that way, but I now understand that that is the way to do it. Is that it will produce 3/4 of the timber will go to the Santa C timber, and 1/4 will go to Riso. It seems. Um, so he's going to come in and he's going to pick up just over 54. And it's going to take you back down again. Yeah, so that's alright. And then my Riso timber supply, whenever he comes in, what does he need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's a bit longer, so we can probably, because he's probably not going to end up getting much more than 54, maybe 60. So he needs to be probably a little shorter. So he only needs to be that long, and then I'm not spending for it, because I think he's only going to pick up, yeah, about 60. So that's the situation at the minute, which is all good. So that's fine. What is this guy producing? 27. Here's my little train. He's definitely got more than 27, but there's probably not much use in making him an awful lot smaller, to be fair. He's carrying 3. Oh, I'll just leave him where he is. It's a bit... You can get a bit bogged down in micromanaging stuff. And when he goes up a level, all that will change. So that will all change. So that's all good. How's my lugs going? Oh my gosh, it's still full. Still got 400 in it. Oh my gosh. I feel like it's coming down. At one stage it was like 700 and something. So yeah, so there you go. So that's that. We've done a little bit with Riso, that's fine. Hey, you want to know something else? I will just let this run a little bit. This is at 3 times speed. Do you know anything about the clock at the bottom? Do you feel like the clock at the bottom is going a little bit slower? It turns out, remember how I was saying, it always seems time passes too quickly? It turns out if you go to calendar, you can change the speed at which the game passes by time. So I don't think it paused is probably a little bit crazy because it just kind of holds time. So if we do that and we press go, everything's moving except time, which that seems like a little bit of a fudge. I don't know why they have that, but anyway. So I've turned it down to 1/4 speed. So it's been running like that probably about the last 10 years at 1/4 speed. Now, I'm not going to say that that's an unfair fudge to the game, because this is a bus. This bus has now been on the road for like 4 days, 5 days, 6 days. That's too long. That's too long. I don't even know whether we can actually measure distance on the map. Can we measure distance? We can. 383 meters. Of course we can measure distance. Right. So how long is the map? Is it going to let me try? It's not going to let me try. That's 2 kilometers. Right? So that's 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers represents that much of the map, which is like a fifth of the map. So it's like 10, let's call it 10 Ks. So this bus journey from here to here, even if we said it was 10 kilometers, it's taken 6 days. It's like, that's not right. That's still not right. That's still very much not right. Something's wrong with your bus if it takes 6 days to go 10 kilometers. I'm pretty certain you can walk 10 kilometers in a day. You don't need 6 days in a bus to do it. So anyway, so that's fine. I've turned the time down, and I must remember to do that again on all my maps, because I just think the way the time flows is ridiculous. Obviously, there's some benefits because things come in at certain times, so you're going to be waiting a long time for things to come in. And if this was like true to life, the game would just go on forever, because you'd literally be playing for a year in the real world. to get a year in the game. So anyway, that's that, and that's whatever and what have you. So that was something that I found out. That I probably should have known sooner. To be fair. Um, right. So there we go. So we've got Rizzo some love. So Rizzo is hopefully gonna 27, 33. They're not doing too bad already. Look at that. 421 residents. They're on the uppity, uppity, up, up, up. So Rizzo has tools and bricks. Civitella has food. Santa Caesarea has fuel. And Castelvecchio has tools and food. And Uzano has food and fuel. So there is a bit of an imbalance in that he's got two down this side, and these guys both have one, which is, it is what it is. So can we get fuel to Civitella, I guess, and can we get tools to Santa Caesarea? Now, I guess obviously we have this tools here, and so far all of the tools are going to Castelvecchio. But what's their demand like? And how's this going? Is this going? Pardon me. It seems to be going. Will this guy pick up food as well? He won't pick up food. What about the next guy? Is the next guy going to pick up food? Here he comes. Are you going to pick up food, or is the food just sitting here? Who's eating the food? So no one's picking up the food. Okay, so I do have to set up a separate food line on that one. That's a nuisance. Because I don't think there's not. So you need a two-compartment vehicle. So that's what two compartments means. So I don't have a two-compartment road vehicle. So that means that you have to put a single product in a single vehicle. Gotcha. That's what that means. Obviously, trains is not that way, and obviously, when you have a look at some of the boats, you can see the cargo boats. So this will only take one thing, fuel, oil, or etc., because it's only got one compartment. This has only one compartment, but it will take one of all of those kinds of things. This has four compartments, so it will take four different things. That will take four different things, and that, which is going to be our next buy, is going to take two things. Well, this one, anyway. Oh, there's something else. Look at that, the Merlin. And we can't have that. That's large. That's also large. That towboat is large. I realize it's large. I can't. That's it. We're done. We're gonna run out of. We've got no way of transporting cargo other than these ridiculous things. So I thought we could use this big one, but I'm an onky because we can't. So I built all that stuff up there because my brain don't work. Were you shouting at the TV and going TV? Assuming you're watching a TV. Were you shouting at whatever it is you're watching this on and going, "No, don't do it! You got the wrong boat." Because if you were, then you deserve a medal. So that's a shame. So we're going to have to replace our boats with something that's rubbish. There's no I don't know if there's a quicker way. I mean, we're getting an awful lot of rail in. If oh gosh, we'd have to do a lot, wouldn't we? We'd have to like pull. We could connect up here, and then it would go up there and go over here, and then we could where are we trying to get to again? And then we could connect over here or something, or oh blimey, O'Reilly. Um, he could connect onto this one, and then this one could take him all the way up there, and he could drop it all off. I don't know, but I need to fix this. I need to fix this. This is going to be a big fix. I need to fix this and sort this out, this whole area out, because this whole area is a bit of a problem, and that's it really. So I'm gonna go away. So this is gonna be the end of this one. So we've done our Rizzo stuff. So that's fine. We got Rizzo up and sorted. We got him growing 400 and something. We wanna get some stuff happening in here, but I need to redo this whole thing with this industry and this station because it's just not working and it's about to break down. Um, it's getting to this stage where we're almost like, hey, do we need a hub for stuff? I mean, I'm not sure if we do. It's a complicated question. It's a complicated map. Um, what I think we need to do is we need to have a look at, can we get stuff manufactured on the map for each of the towns first, and once we've got each of the towns receiving one of all of the things that they need, and steel's going to be fun, um, then then we can talk about trying to maximize some efficiencies, and we're going to keep an eye on the airports because I'm not convinced, just not convinced. But maybe we could run um, passenger boats between Santa Caesarea and Rizzo because we haven't done that. So we might give that a try. Passenger boats, might try that. Right, I have to go. Running out of time again. Always running out of time. But then if you don't make time, how can you ever have time? Anyway, enough of that. I do hope you like it. It's getting real busy. Do click that like. Do subscribe to the channel. Do click the bell notification so you know when the next one is coming out. Do feel free to pass any comments at all or provide any tips, tricks of your own. Is there anything else I've missed? Probably. And I will see you all again real soon. Ta-ta for now.